All right, everybody. Welcome to the Real Estate Walk and Talk here. We are going to be reviewing a live JWB new construction turnkey rental property here on Facebook Live. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon here in Jacksonville, and it is time to do a little bit of learning. So I do these on Friday, these live breakdowns of these property evaluations. I also do it live on our show on Thursday in the Not Your Average Investor show. So if you want to be there and interact and ask questions that I can answer live on the show, you can do that on Thursday. You can join us at jwbshow.com. We have a blast. And then here's just a kind of a review of what we talked about. And on Fridays, it's great when I do this because I hear the questions that are asked live on the show, and I'm going to, of course, bring a couple of those to you guys and answer some of those questions that you may be asking yourself. But reviewing these properties is a fantastic opportunity because the properties I bring to you are available now. They can be purchased. In fact, the one that we talked about last week was purchased by one of our clients, Adam, who was watching this Real Estate Walk and Talk and purchased that one last week. So congratulations to Adam. So if you're interested, you can of course reach out to us. You can schedule a time to chat with my team at chatwithjwb.com, or you can drop me a line. Adam just sent me a message on Messenger and we started the process that way. So, but if you're not interested in purchasing right now, if it's just not the right time, this is a great learning opportunity. And today we're going to talk about townhomes specifically. The one that I'm bringing to you is on Lake Mist. And I'm going to do a little screen sharing here. If you give me a minute to figure out the technology here. Boom. All right. Now, I hope you all can see my screen. I think you're probably seeing the wrong screen. If I know this, the way that this looks, let's do a little bit of, I think we're good. Okay. All right. So cool. So we're going to be looking at this townhome on Lake Mist, and I'm going to bring my phone up here just to make sure I'm seeing what you guys are seeing and that we're all seeing the right stuff. And I think we are. So, all right. So this property on Lake Mist here in Jacksonville is a brand new construction townhome. Okay. Townhomes, the first thing to think about when you're investing in townhomes are that they're a great opportunity to buy new construction at a reduced price. That's what attracts most people to townhomes. So take a look here. The purchase price on this one on Lake Mist is $155,000. Typically, your purchase prices on Jacksonville turnkey rental properties are between $150,000 and maybe $210,000. So to be able to buy brand new construction at $155,000 is pretty rare. You usually don't get to do that unless it's a townhome. So that's what attracts people to townhomes. The other thing is that it's brand new construction, but a lot of people ask me, well, can we invest in multifamily properties? And a townhome investment is very similar to the positives of investing in multifamily properties. And so, you get economies of scale, right? If a roof breaks on your investment property here, a townhome is actually attached to additional units, and there might be 4 buildings or 6 buildings in a townhome building. And if you wanted to buy a quadruplex, you had one roof if something breaks to fix. If you wanted to buy a 4-unit townhome building, there's one roof to fix. So you get those same economies of scale. A lot of people have security knowing that they say, well, if one of my tenants leaves, the 3 other ones are going to support the housing payments. Same thing with a townhome. It's not very different in that regard. In fact, there's a lot of benefits when it comes to, and I'll stop the screen share here, a lot of benefits when it comes to actually the financing part of a townhome investment. So in a townhome, there's one owner per unit. Now, in a quadruplex, for example, there's one owner for all 4 units. When it comes to things like selling the assets, when you own a 4-unit townhome building, you can make an individual decision on unit 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, and you can sell either one. You could refinance either one. When you own a quad, one owner owns all 4 units, all titled under that one investment. So if you're going to sell it, you have to sell the whole thing. So it's a lot less flexible to buy actual multifamily units, and townhomes are a great way to accomplish that flexibility. The other thing about townhomes, specifically about Jacksonville, is that you can get townhomes in your right cash flow sweet spot neighborhoods. You cannot get multifamily properties in those neighborhoods, generally speaking. it's just the way housing stock is in Jacksonville. You're going to find multifamily properties, quadruplexes, duplexes, largely in low-income neighborhoods that I do not advise you to invest in, because you'll have higher maintenance costs, higher vacancy costs, higher turnover, and that's not where we want to put you. So a huge advantage of townhomes is that you can be in the right neighborhoods. This one happens to be on the west side of Jacksonville that we love a lot on the west side. So let's share the screen again here, and let's take a deeper dive. So, and I appreciate all of you being here with me. Looks like we got a few folks jumping on here towards the end of the Friday here. If you have specific questions, I'll try to check my phone and kind of answer them for you live here. But a big question that we had was, what are the advantages to townhomes versus multifamilies? There is one disadvantage from a financing perspective of a townhome versus multifamily. It comes down to the number of loans on your credit. Overall, if you can be at 10 financed properties or less, you're going to get the best terms on the loans that you get for your investment property purchases. When you buy 4-unit townhome building, that will show up as 4 loans on your credit. If you were to buy a quadruplex, that's 1 loan on your credit. So as with most things, it's not all positives. There are some downsides and some advantages. So of course, take this into your personal situation and your goals, and then really talk to my team about it, and we'll help guide you in the right path. But a townhome might be the right investment for you. Again, if you want to talk to my team, go to chatwithjwb.com. All right, so here's the next thing to take a look at is your return on investment. So we give you a summary of returns on investment. I'm going to zoom in there a little bit more for you. Oops, there we go. All right, so we're going to give you a summary. This top section here is if you're buying the property in cash. This middle section is if you're buying it with a non-recourse loan, which generally means buying it in your retirement accounts. And when I'm quoting our estimated returns on investment, I'm always quoting it assuming that you're buying conventionally financed, because that's what the majority of our clients purchase with, and that's just a way to compare apples to apples. So our returns on investment now are between 9 to 11%. If you've been following along what I've been saying for years and years and years, that should jump out to you as being higher than normal. Typically, we're between 7 to 9%. The big change as to why we're now able to estimate almost 2% higher in most cases, and this one is that comes in at 10.5%, is because of the effect of low interest rates. Interest rates now are at 4% is what we estimate we can get for our clients. And when you drop interest rates into the 4% range, it jumps up your estimated return on investment. That's why I think interest rates and securing smart debt right now is an incredible opportunity. But that's really why you're seeing the jump here. If I was offering the same property, call it 2 months ago, this estimated return on investment likely would have been around 8.5%, because we would have been estimating about a 4.5% return on investment. So just a half point drop in your interest rate equates to about a 2% jump on your estimated return on investment. And oh, by the way, you get to secure that debt for 30 years. Ask yourself, do you think that you can borrow money at 4% and make a better return than 4% over the next 30 years? The answer is probably yes. So certainly something to take into account as far as getting financing to purchase the property. Again, my team is here to guide you through this process. We manage over $350 million in assets, have helped clients build portfolios, and know when and when not to use debt. So we'll guide you on that. But here are the numbers. $155,000 purchase price for this townhome on Lake Mist Lane, 3 beds, 2.5 baths, 1-car garage. Our rent range is between $1,250 and $1,300, and this is already leased out. It actually has a 3-year lease in place. This says 2 years because that's the standard way that we offer our investments. This was to say if it only had a 2-year lease, what would the returns be? This happens to have a 3-year lease, so it's a little bit better than that. And the average lease rate for that term is actually $1,275. So we get the first year at $1,250. The second year is held constant. The third year is at $1,300. There's already a rent escalation built in place and positive cash flow for you day one. Property taxes are built off of what we know and have built in the area. Your insurance is already quoted for you. Sub $500 a year for homeowners insurance is incredible. And then HOA dues. So we got a lot of questions about HOA dues. So with townhomes, you're always going to have HOA dues. The key is to buy an investment property, if it's a townhome, in a low HOA environment. do not buy investment properties and, with high HOAs. And when you have high HOAs, you have things like swimming pools and gates in these communities. And you're not going to find that in this community here at Lake Miss, because the only way we can secure rule number one with investing in rental properties is the only way that we can secure rule number one, which is positive cash flow, is if we have low expenses. And the only way to do that is to have low HOA fees. So you're not going to see all the amenities. It wouldn't work. Positive cash flow is rule number one. So we do take all of your HOA dues into account, into these returns on investment. That is included when we estimate 10.5%. Your property management fees are also included here. And this one was built towards the end of 2019. Square footage, 1339, and it's on city sewer. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this brief run through of this turnkey investment property here on Lake Miss Lane. If you're interested in acquiring in your portfolio, reach out to me, drop me a line, drop me a comment. If you have questions, I'm here to answer them for you. I would highly encourage you to join the Not Your Average Investor show. So you can do this. We do this on a weekly basis, and happy to answer your questions. A lot of time newer clients are asking to have a demo or kind of walk through properties together. I'm there for you. Specifically, we do that every Thursday at 12:30, and you can register at jwbshow.com. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day and a great weekend, and I will catch you bright and early on Monday morning. Take care, everybody.